Coach, what's Peyton Lewis been able to do here the last couple of weeks to be able to get on the field and get some early minutes in some pretty close games?
He's done a really good job in his preparation in terms of going out attacking practice. We got competition every day in practice, and he's done a really good job of maximizing his reps that he's gotten in practice. And in the same situation, when he gets in the game, he's maximizing his opportunities too, and the confidence is growing the more and more he gets out there, and you can see it as he's playing right now.
Two questions. One, how impressed are you just overall with Dylan's just mental and physical toughness? And two, when you have someone playing like that, how hard is it to play more than two backs in a game?
Been very impressed with him. Number one, the stamina that he's been able to produce, especially in this stretch that we've been going on after the bye week. The mental part of it, you see that in the classroom. The physical part of it, that's why he attacked the weight room the way that he did this summer in terms of building his body up. And you see the durability now in terms of being up there, be able to take multiple carries in the series and in the game. The thing about it too is, once he gets hot, it's kind of hard to pull him off. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, understanding that he has to take some, series off and that type deal to keep his legs fresh so we ain't sitting up here wearing him out. So
he's had 3 straight games where he's had a fumble, which I know you can tell it's just eating at him. I mean,
Yep.
2 hands on the football the other day and just kind of had a perfect hit and knocked out. How do you coach that from a standpoint of trying to keep him confident and not let him get down, because we know he doesn't want to do that.
Yep. The number one deal is understanding when you've drained it enough. A lot of times you go back through and you look at the tape, like a lot of those is he's fighting for those extra yards. He still keep trying to churn, and guys are sitting in their clubbing and trying to pull the ball out. So understanding, when you drained it out enough, it's time to go down so that they can't get those shots on the ball. And it comes down to our ball mechanics too, like we practice every day. Just make sure when we're in the power arm bar the football, do a really good job having your pads over and continue to keep protecting it.
Coach, you've talked about Peyton's growth these past few weeks, and you've seen him, play more and more. How much do you talk to him about going on the road now in this kind of environment, especially as it relates to pass pro?
Yeah, the number one deal is the focus portion of it. Doing your job, not letting the crowd affect you. Understand that I got to be locked in on what my assignment is on this play. Understanding what the physicality, especially in this league, is going to be like on the road in terms of how I got to go in there and attack, how I got to go in there and fit. And those are things that he's done a good job of up until this point. But just understanding, don't let that become bigger than what it is. Just concentrate on doing your job, and then you'll be okay.
After the game on Saturday, Squirrel White described Sampson as a soldier. Just when you have a guy on the field like that, that's kind of motivating everyone else. How important is that to hold together an offense, especially in the second half without Nico on Saturday?
I think it's huge. Everybody sit here and, number one, they look at Samp as the leader, not only as an offense, but as a team leader as well. And then, when he gets hot, the whole team rallies up. When he makes a big run, the whole entire sideline becomes energized. So, he's a spark plug, for the whole entire unit for us on offense. And I think, sometimes when you need that little uplifting, and not just him on the field in terms of playing, but it's also on the sideline too. Being able to go uplift his teammates when things are kind of, in a little rut right now. When sometimes teammates may be trying to make a play sometime and they're pushing a lot, he's always there to calm them down. So I think holistically, he does a really good job of being that for the team.
Where's Cam Selden in terms of development and kind of what do you envision his role here down the stretch?
I think with him, he's growing every day. I think that's the number one deal. He had his setbacks earlier, you know what I'm saying, and kind of in the season. But I think with him, his development is good. And you see him getting comfortable again. You see him getting into games right now, and he's getting comfortable. He's maximizing his reps that he's getting right now. We're going to need everybody in that room, as the season continues to progress and kind of roll along. So the number one deal is continue to keep attacking this deal one day at a time and then seeing how your role progresses throughout the games.
Hey, Coach, coming in, I heard the crowd noise there at practice. Talk about the mindset going into an environment like that, especially from an offensive standpoint.
I think number one is the focus portion of it. Making sure that you're being able to get locked in, attention to detail, making sure I'm focusing on doing my job. And you can't make it bigger than what it is. It's the same situation when we're playing at home. Our home field advantage in terms of our crowd is really, really good. So when you go on the road, you kind of expect that same situation. So we sit up here, we make sure we're doing a really good job from a preparation standpoint, but also when it gets into the hay of it, man, make sure I'm locked in on doing my job, and then I can focus in one play at a time.
You mentioned Sampson being able to, I guess, kind of sense when he's gotten the most yards that he could out of that play. Do you think maybe he's continuing to fight for more yards because of how he's evolved in that area of the game, being able to break through that first point?
I do. I think it's a habit portion now, that we always talk about as a program going pad +2. And I think he's doing a really good job of finishing off his run. So a lot of times when that's already ingrained in you, it's kind of hard to understand in this certain situation, I've drained it out enough. Let me go ahead and get down so that I don't put the ball in jeopardy. Cool.